When we talk about lemons, most people immediately think of detox, freshness, and health. Very few actually understand that the way you combine lemons with other foods can change how your body reacts. Seniors especially need to pay attention because digestion naturally slows down with age, and what might have been harmless in your 30s or 40s could trigger discomfort or even health risks later in life. The first major mistake is mixing lemon with dairy, like milk or yogurt, thinking it's a refreshing choice. In reality, the high acidity of lemon collides with dairy proteins, curdling them right in your stomach. This doesn't just create bloating, it creates heaviness, and in some cases disrupts how your body absorbs nutrients. Over time, this can lead to poor calcium absorption, which is critical for seniors already battling bone loss and weaker joints. Imagine this reaction happening repeatedly inside your digestive system. Instead of giving you energy, it drains your body, making you feel sluggish after what should be a simple snack or drink. Seniors often deal with acid reflux, and lemon combined with dairy intensifies that burning sensation, making it harder to rest, harder to eat comfortably, and harder to maintain consistent health. What many don't realize is that the gut plays a massive role in sexual health too. When digestion is weak, circulation suffers, inflammation rises, and libido starts to decline. That's why avoiding this mistake is not just about food, it's about maintaining your overall energy, stamina, and even your ability to enjoy intimacy without discomfort weighing you down. Another critical danger comes from mixing lemon with seafood, especially shellfish like shrimp or crab. Yes, lemon has always been marketed as the perfect flavor enhancer. For fish, here's the truth for seniors. This combination can actually trigger hidden sensitivities. The acidic reaction in the gut can intensify allergic responses, cause nausea, even disrupt mineral balance. For someone older whose immune system isn't as strong as it once was, this can mean more than just an upset stomach. It can mean inflammation that lingers for days. And inflammation isn't just about digestion, it affects blood flow, hormone balance, and how your body feels in intimate moments. When you are constantly battling an irritated gut, your energy toward intimacy drops and your body doesn't respond the way it used to, which can affect confidence in ways that many seniors struggle to talk about. The third silent problem is when lemons interact with medications, especially for blood pressure, cholesterol, or digestion. Seniors are often prescribed multiple pills. Lemon's acidity can alter how those drugs are absorbed. This isn't something that happens overnight. It builds quietly, diminishing the effect of medicines you depend on. It might look like your blood pressure isn't stabilizing or your cholesterol remains stubbornly high, when in reality it's the lemon interfering. The more your medications underperform, the more strain your body feels, and that trickles down into your sexual health too. Poor circulation, fatigue, low stamina aren't just random signs of aging. They are often linked to these small overlooked mistakes. By recognizing the role lemons play in your digestion and intimacy, you gain control over more than just your diet. You gain control over how you feel in your body, your bedroom, and your everyday life. When it comes to intimacy, one of the most misunderstood yet powerful acts a man can offer a woman is oral pleasure. For many men, the decision to lick a woman's vagina isn't just about the act itself. It's about what it reveals about their mindset and their understanding of sexuality. A man who does this with confidence and intention shows that he values pleasure as a shared experience rather than a selfish pursuit. He is communicating that intimacy is not one-sided. Her satisfaction is as important as his own. This act is layered with meaning because it shows patience, a willingness to explore, and a desire to connect on a deeper level. It's not simply physical, it's psychological, emotional, and relational. A man who goes down on a woman is essentially saying, I am here to give, not just to take. That level of selflessness signals maturity because real intimacy thrives when both partners feel seen and cared for. In many cases, who avoid giving oral pleasure often carry insecurities or fears of vulnerability. By contrast, the man who embraces it demonstrates confidence in his masculinity because he is unafraid of breaking traditional expectations that paint men as only receivers. He understands that the art of sex is not just penetration, it is exploration, foreplay, and connection. This makes the woman feel not just desired, but truly cherished, and when she feels that, her body naturally responds with deeper arousal and trust. From a sexual health perspective, this act also speaks volumes about communication. To lick a woman intimately and skillfully, a man must be attentive to her body's signals, her breathing, and her reactions. It requires tuning in, slowing down, and reading her cues with precision. This level of attentiveness shows that he is present in the moment and values her experience, not just his own release. Seniors, especially, benefit from this deeper intimacy because as the body ages, quick, rush sex often loses its spark. What remains most powerful is the ability to connect through longer foreplay, deeper arousal, a focus on emotional bonding that keeps intimacy alive despite physical changes. But here's the deeper truth. When a man willingly licks a woman's vagina, It also reveals his openness to vulnerability. Sex is not just about control, it's about surrendering to closeness, breaking down ego, and letting the moment be about more than power. This kind of intimacy softens barriers between partners, creating a stronger emotional foundation. It can rebuild trust after conflict, reignite passion after years of routine, awaken a woman's confidence in her body no matter her age. For seniors who may struggle with body image or performance anxiety, this type of giving act creates reassurance that love, passion, desire are still alive, still powerful, and still deeply fulfilling. When we talk about seniors combining lemon with seafood, many people imagine it as harmless, even elegant, because lemon has always been seen as the classic touch on fish or shrimp. But inside the body, especially the aging body, this mix can be a quiet troublemaker. Lemon's acidity interacts with proteins in shellfish and fish in a way that can trigger discomfort or even mimic allergic reactions. Seniors already have slower digestion, weaker immunity, and more sensitivity to foods than younger adults, so what once felt refreshing can now cause bloating, nausea, or an itchy, uneasy reaction. This doesn't just spoil the meal, it creates a lingering stress inside the gut that affects how the body feels afterward. When your digestive system feels inflamed, everything else in your body feels heavier. Blood flow slows, energy dips, and even your desire for intimacy can get clouded by discomfort. Seniors often underestimate how much gut health plays into sexual performance and enjoyment. If your stomach feels heavy and irritable, your body resists closeness, your confidence in being desirable drops, and your natural arousal doesn't flow the way it used to. This is why something as simple as a lemon squeezed shrimp dinner can end up affecting more than digestion. It can affect mood, confidence, and intimacy in ways that most people never connect. The body remembers how it feels, and those signals shape how open or closed you are to pleasure. Seafood is rich in zinc, omega-3s, and nutrients that support sexual health. When mixed poorly with lemon in sensitive bodies, it cancels out some of those benefits by causing irritation. Seniors who notice this pattern may think their body is just slowing down with age, when in truth the wrong food pairing is sabotaging their vitality. An irritated digestive tract increases inflammation in the bloodstream, and inflammation is one of the biggest killers of desire and stamina. Inflammation disrupts hormone function, tightens blood vessels, and makes arousal harder to maintain. For men, that can mean difficulty with erections. For women, reduced natural lubrication and lower sensitivity. These are not random signs of aging. They are the body's way of reacting to imbalance. And here's the part: many overlook intimacy is a whole body experience, not just a sexual organ experience. The way your gut feels, the way your circulation flows, the way your nervous system calms, all of it feeds into your ability to give and receive pleasure. If a senior couple eats seafood with lemon and ends up feeling bloated, uncomfortable, or tired, that night of intimacy often fades into avoidance. But if they choose better pairings, their energy remains light, their circulation flows more freely, and their willingness to explore pleasure stays alive. This is why learning about food combinations isn't just a matter of avoiding indigestion. It's a matter of preserving your sexual energy, your confidence, and your connection to each other in the later years of life. When lemons interact with medications, the effects can be far more intimate than most people realize. Seniors especially are prescribed multiple drugs for blood pressure, cholesterol, or digestion, and these medications are lifelines. But what many don't know is that lemon's acidic nature can alter how these medicines are absorbed in the gut. Instead of working the way they are supposed to, the drugs may weaken in effect, leaving the body struggling with the very problems they are meant to fix. For someone depending on stability, this hidden disruption can mean higher blood pressure readings, cholesterol numbers that refuse to drop, or digestion that stays unpredictable. This imbalance slowly chips away at confidence, energy, and the desire to fully engage in life. What makes this even more dangerous is how subtle it can be. You may not immediately feel sick, but over weeks or months, your body tells you in small ways. Maybe you feel more tired, less energetic, or less motivated to engage in intimacy. Maybe your stamina in the bedroom drops, or you find it harder to get in the mood because your body is already fighting to maintain balance. Medications and intimacy may seem unrelated, but they are tied together through blood flow, hormone regulation, and nervous system health. If your medication isn't fully working because lemon is interfering, the impact doesn't just stay in your bloodstream. It ripples into your performance, your confidence, your connection with your partner. For men, this can show up in subtle changes like weaker erections, shorter endurance, or less desire to initiate intimacy. For women, it can feel like dryness, lowered arousal, or a lack of energy to enjoy closeness. These signs are often brushed off as normal aging, but much of it is about the body not receiving the full benefit of the medication it relies on. When circulation isn't supported properly, sexual response suffers. When energy drops, emotional closeness feels like a burden rather than a joy. This is why food and medication interactions must be treated as part of sexual health, just physical health. The gut is the foundation of how the rest of the body functions, and when it's disrupted, intimacy suffers silently. Imagine this: a senior couple looking forward to an intimate night, but the man feels tired and heavy, and the woman feels restless and dry. Both think it's age, but in reality, the lemon in their daily routine is blocking the medicine that should be helping them feel strong and balanced. The sensual side of life doesn't vanish with age. It only becomes more delicate, more dependent on balance, and more influenced by the choices you make every day. By understanding how something as simple as lemon and medication can interfere, you start to realize that intimacy and wellness are not separate. They are deeply intertwined, and respecting that connection allows you to nurture not just your health, also your pleasure and your closeness with the person you love. When a man chooses to lick a woman's vagina, he is doing more than just offering physical stimulation. He is sending a powerful message about how he views intimacy and connection. This act requires a willingness to focus entirely on her pleasure, to take time, and to let go of any ego that might make intimacy about performance alone. It is about slowing down, exploring, showing through action that her satisfaction matters. For many women, this is one of the most intimate expressions of care, because it demonstrates vulnerability and attention in ways words often cannot. Seniors, in particular, can find this deeply affirming, as age can sometimes bring insecurities about desirability, and this act erases those doubts in an instant. It's not only about the tongue or the sensation, it's about presence. A man who goes down on a woman with confidence and communicates that he is fully present with her, attuned to her breathing, her movements, and her subtle signals. Level of attentiveness makes her feel desired, honored, and safe enough to let go. When she feels that safety, her arousal deepens, her body relaxes, and her pleasure expands in intensity. This act tells her that she is not an afterthought, but the center of the moment, and that builds a bond that is emotional as much as physical. Intimacy at this level becomes unforgettable because it is layered with respect and devotion. From a sexual health perspective, this kind of intimacy also carries benefits that go beyond the bedroom. Oral stimulation can increase blood flow, release endorphins, and create a surge of oxytocin, the bonding hormone that strengthens emotional closeness. For couples navigating the changes that come with age, these natural chemical releases are powerful in maintaining connection and vitality. Seniors often face reduced libido or slower responses. Acts like this help reawaken the body's natural rhythms of arousal and pleasure. It creates a cycle where pleasure fuels confidence and confidence fuels more pleasure, keeping intimacy alive even when physical stamina changes. There is also an emotional honesty in this act that cannot be ignored. It strips away the idea that sex is only about penetration or performance and shifts the focus to giving, nurturing, and mutual discovery. A man who licks a woman's vagina is showing that he is comfortable being vulnerable, comfortable prioritizing her, and comfortable with intimacy that is about more than his own release. For women, this creates a sense of being cherished in a way that lingers long after the act is done. For men, it builds a deeper bond and a stronger connection. Because pleasure is no longer one-sided, it becomes an exchange that reinforces trust and closeness. This is why, at any age, especially in the later stages of life, such acts of intimacy are not just sexual. They are healing, affirming, and profoundly human. Nutrition and sexual health are often seen as two separate subjects, but in reality are intimately connected. The foods you choose to eat every day can either fuel your energy, circulation, and desire, or they can weigh you down and quietly drain your vitality. For seniors, this connection becomes even more important because the body no longer processes food with the same efficiency it once did. Blood flow, hormone balance, stamina are all influenced by what you put into your body. When you eat in a way that supports health, your intimate life thrives naturally. But when you ignore the signals, poor food choices can slowly dim the fire of desire and leave you feeling disconnected from your own body. Think about how the body works during a wrestle. It needs circulation, energy, and relaxation all at the same time. If your digestion is heavy from bad food combinations, like lemon with dairy or seafood, your body is busy fighting discomfort instead of channeling blood flow to your most sensitive areas. The result is less responsiveness, less stamina, and a body that resists intimacy rather than embraces it. Seniors often mistake this for jing, but it is often food choices sabotaging the body's natural responses. Eating light, clean, and balanced meals ensures that when the moment for intimacy arises, your body is ready to participate fully, without resistance or fatigue. Sexual health is not only about mechanics, it is about confidence, energy, and emotional connection. The foods you eat influence hormone production, which directly impacts libido. Zinc from nuts, magnesium from leafy greens, and hydration from fruits like watermelon all boost desire and performance, while acidic disruptions like lemon combined with certain foods can interfere with balance. Seniors who prioritize nutrient-rich meals often find that their desire remains strong, their recovery quicker, and their confidence intact. Intimacy becomes easier, more enjoyable, and more natural when the body is supported by the right nutrition. Food, in this sense, becomes foreplay, fueling the body with what it needs to stay responsive and alive to pleasure. For couples, this awareness creates a deeper sense of partnership. Preparing meals together, choosing foods that energize rather than drain, becomes part of the intimacy ritual itself. Senior couple who makes conscious choices about nutrition is not just protecting their health, they are protecting their bond. They are ensuring that sexual connection remains vibrant. Touch remains exciting, and that closeness feels effortless rather than forced. Food and intimacy, when aligned, create a cycle of wellness and passion. The healthier the body feels, the more open it is to desire, and the more fulfilled intimacy becomes. This is why nutrition and sexual health cannot be separated. They are two sides of the same coin, each fueling the other, each sustaining the energy that makes love and closeness possible at any age.